Alright everyone, welcome back to another video here on FlashWatch. Today we're going to go over the Overwatch 2 beta update. The mid-cycle patch has dropped and there's a lot of changes that we need to talk about, but one important thing, if you have not played the Overwatch 2 beta yet, this is the last weekend for that. So if you want to get your hands on with the game before the official release, now is the time, because this will be the last time that we have to play, as far as we know, until the official release on October 4th. So yeah, let's get into it, guys. Alright, so we're going to start with the tank section. We have some changes to Doomfist to go over. So, his ability Power Block. Minimum damage mitigated required to empower Rocket Punch reduced from 100 to 90 damage. And then movement speed penalty while blocking reduced from 50 to 35%. Alright, so he can move a little faster. His the movement penalty was at 50%, that's a lot. 35 is still a lot, but I feel like that extra 15% is pretty good. Usually movement speeds from like in between 10 and 20 range feel really good. The 100 to 90 damage Rocket Punch reduced damage, or the damage mitigation reduced for the Rocket Punch is, I don't know if that's going to do a lot. It's only 10 damage, but overall you're going to be able to power up your Rocket Punch quicker and faster, and you're going to be faster, so that is a plus for Doomfist all around. I feel like Doomfist is kind of in this weird spot. He is still really fun to play, but I would not say that he still feels like an off tank to me. You can't fully protect the team and do what you need to do, so I think that they kind of need to take a look at him a little more. I'm not saying he needs a full rework, but I feel like he's on the weaker side, so this is a step in the right direction. But overall, I think they might have to do some more tweaking to kind of figure him out and get him ready for the October 4th launch. I don't know, we'll see in the future. But now we're going to take a look at the Junker Queen. This is the moment we've been waiting for. We knew she was going to get some nerfs, but we didn't know what kind of nerf she was going to get, or basically what she really needed. And so this is the devs trying to take a step in the right direction to basically balance out the Junker Queen. So we're going to look at the first ability that they've kind of messed with here. So Commanding Shout. Radius reduced from 20 to 15 meters. Allied bonus health now decays over its duration, and maximum duration increased from 4 to 5 seconds. Alright, so the radius reduced from 20 to 15 meters. That is a huge amount, because that radius goes in a circle. So 5 meters, or 5 meters is a lot to lose. So she's not going to be as powerful because she can't hit as many of her teammates to power them up. So you're going to have to be closer to the Junker Queen, which I guess maybe in essence that's a good thing too, because that provides a step in the right direction for more team play. But it also says here that the allied bonus health now decays over its duration. So instead of having that health until you lose it, basically, it's just going to decay over time. And then it says, she gets a little tiny bit of a buff on top of the nerfs that she just got, and it's that the duration has increased from 4 to 5 seconds. So essentially, anyone who gets powered up, instead of 4 seconds, now they have 5 seconds to run around and have some extra health, which is pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our ultimate, Rampage. The radius has been reduced from 6 to 5 meters. I have not talked about this yet, but I have a huge issue with the Junker Queen's ultimate. Like, her kit, her being overpowered, that's one thing. I think her moves are awesome. I think she is built the right way, and they just need to tweak the math a little bit. And with the Commanding Shout that we just talked about, it seems like they're doing just that. But with Rampage, her ultimate, I have a huge issue, and that is you can't tell where to get out of range for her ultimate. There's no indicator to see whether you're going to get in it or out of it. And when I'm playing the game and I think that I'm clear of her ultimate when I hear it, and I step to the side and I kind of dodge her, I'm not super close, I'm still pretty far away, and I get hit by that ultimate, it really makes me upset. We need some type of indicator around her, but, with this nerf that they just did to Rampage, the radius being reduced by 1 meter from 6 to 5, that's a step in the right direction, but I need a more visual indicator on Junker Queen's ultimate, because overall I feel like it's kind of busted that you can't tell where you're going to be hit with the ultimate. So yeah, that's it for Junker Queen. Hopefully that's enough to kind of put her in a balanced state, and we're just going to have to see. This is the last weekend to test her out, so I'm really excited to see what the game feels like now that the character that's being played the most has kind of jumped down a little bit in power. Moving on to Orisa. Alright, so Fortify now disables critical damage. That is awesome. That is so important. Now she cannot be headshot when she's in Fortify. She needed that. She is so big. Her headshot space is so huge. Like, that is super important for Orisa, and I think that is an incredible buff that she just acquired. And on top of that, if we move on to the javelin spin, it says bonus movement speed increase from 40 to 50%. That is a 10% movement speed increase. And when you spin that javelin and you get basically fanned forward when you're using it, it's a fantastic feeling. I use it to get out of spawn quicker all the time. I really like using it. It's probably my favorite ability on Orisa. Just overall, I really love Orisa, but I think this 10% increased movement speed with that javelin spin, that's fantastic. I think Orisa has really won the buff battle here when it comes to the patch notes. So yeah, hopefully Orisa is a lot stronger. I already felt like she was pretty balanced. This might put her in an even better competitive spot if this is the way she's launched in the Overwatch 2 official release. We'll just have to wait and see, but I think now I can officially say, after playing the beta for this long, that my favorite character, my new favorite character when it comes to tanks, is Orisa. She is just a lot more fun to play. Even if she's not the best pick that you can choose from, she is definitely my favorite character, and I enjoy playing her the most. Moving on to the damage section, we're going to start with Sojourn because, well, besides the Junker Queen, she was another character that I felt like really needed to be nerfed. Her secondary fire with her machine gun is just too overpowered, so let's take a look and see what they've done. With her main gun, Railgun, fire rate reduced from 15 to 14 shots per second. Okay, that is a small nerf. That's not huge, you know. Every second she shoots one less shot, so we'll see. I really didn't think that there was a problem with her primary fire, so let's move on to the Railgun alternative fire. Projectile radius now scales with energy from 0 up to the previous 0.1 meters. The higher the energy level, the bigger the projectile radius. This is great. This means that if you charge up, I don't know, 10 energy level with her alternate fire and then you fire it, it's not going to be very big, which means it's going to be harder to hit, which adds a lot more skill when it comes to Sojourn. But there is one thing that I want to talk about. You know, they don't really give any indication that she's about to fire her alternate fire. I guess you could say, I mean, no one really knows when you're going to fire your primary weapon. You're not supposed to really know when the enemy team is going to do that, but it doesn't feel very good to get one shot with her railgun. And, you know, if we kind of take Hanzo into the picture here and we talk about, you know, getting one shot with his arrows, it's a little different because you can see that he's firing, he's winding back, he's getting ready to shoot his bow. If you're not paying attention to him and you get hit from behind, that's a different story, but that's also a different story at the railgun alternative fire. But railgun just doesn't have any indication. I feel like she should glow a little more. I don't know. That was kind of my issue, but this is going to make things harder for you to get one shot from Sojourn's alternate fire, which is just great overall. I'm really happy with these changes that they're doing for Sojourn. And then we're moving on to Symmetra. So, Symmetra has been subject to a lot of different things over the years. They're trying to buff her up right now because she is just not a very good damage character. There's a lot of better picks right now. So, alright, so they have some buffs to her photon projector alternate fire. So the charge time reduced from 1.2 seconds to 1 second, so a little bit of a buff. Projectile radius increased from 0.4 to 0.5, and then her teleporter cooldown has been reduced from 16 to 12 seconds. And I believe we covered this in another video. Yeah, so I think it's a good thing that her teleporter is going to only have a 12-second cooldown. Her teleporter is a main part of her kit, and I really enjoy abilities that just don't help yourself, they help the team, and the teleporter for the entire team is such a fantastic ability. I do hope they keep the teleporter, but I still really feel like they are going to do a full rework for Symmetra, but hopefully, for all you Symmetra fans out there, this is going to buff you a little bit, so the last weekend of the Overwatch 2 beta is a little more fun for you guys if you enjoy playing Symmetra. But yeah, so overall it's pretty good. I think they're going to have to do some more, but we're just going to have to test it out, and that's what this last weekend is for. So yeah, it's pretty good. Moving on to the support section, we only have one character in here, and I feel like it is a much needed character to be in here, and that is Zenyatta. So it states here that the shield health has been reduced from 175 to 150, which means that 225 to 200 total max HP, so he has 25% less health. I think this is good. He is really strong right now, and it's just going to make him easier to get taken out, but that's fair because he's always had 200. They buffed him with his health for the Overwatch 2 betas, and yeah, I think this is a good adjustment to dial him back a bit so that people like Tracer and Genji can take him out a little quicker if he's getting in the way of the team. But yeah, that's it for the support characters. and most of the main characters that we wanted to touch on that had big significant changes, but there are a few more at the bottom here that we should go over. So it states here, Soldier 76 fixed an issue that caused Sprint to give 40% movement speed instead of 50. So essentially Soldier's been nerfed this whole time. He's only been moving 40% with his Sprint instead of 50, so that's good. He gets to move 10% quicker. That's awesome. Obviously not quicker, he's just supposed to move that fast, so it's going to feel like original Soldier. And then we have Genji. So it says here, fixed an issue where Dragon Blade could sometimes get stuck as an active after the duration ended. So yeah, I've seen some of these videos online and they're pretty funny because Genji essentially uses his ult and then he can have the sword forever and have it as his main weapon. And if most of you didn't know, in the original Overwatch development, they were supposed to have Genji use his blade as his primary weapon, and it's kind of funny that a bug would turn him back into his original development character. But yeah, that's just a little tidbit. So, moving on to the Junker Queen. It says here that they fixed an issue that caused wounds to apply to invalid targets like barriers, ice walls, and turrets. That is nuts. That means she was getting more healing from inanimate objects. That's crazy. That's probably why she felt so overpowered, at least one of the main reasons why she felt so overpowered, and you couldn't quite put your finger on it. She was just getting more healing from random things. And then I think there's two small ones. It says, fix an issue that caused her ability icons to not appear in the kill feed. That's very small. So, and then fix an issue where Carnage also applied a Jagged Blade wound effect. Another wound effect, that means more healing. So hopefully with these nerfs and bug fixes to Junker Queen, she's going to be balanced for the last weekend that we can play the beta. So jump in there and test her out, and that is it for the patch notes, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and please hit that notification bell so that you can be notified for all my future videos. We have an Instagram and a Discord, and you can find all those links here on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much. I'll catch you on the next one. Flash out.